What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, go ahead and like the video, and if you haven't yet, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. But today I want to dive into something that I have been messing with and fiddling with for years now. Still don't know that this is the absolute perfect way, but as I've gone through trial and error, this is the best way that I know how. And that's hanging a cameraman stand and setting up in a tree to film your hunts. These mosquitoes are absolutely terrible, so if you see me doing all this, it's because the mosquitoes are terrible. But so today I want to go through kind of how I set up when I'm in a tree getting ready to film. Now obviously this isn't going to necessarily apply for like if you're self-filming, or even if you're filming in the saddle, it's going to be a little bit different. But today this is my redneck setup for a tree stand. So I got my little chair here, my little lawn chair that's going to represent my hunter stand, and then I've got my Millennium M50, I believe is what this is called. Side note, this stand is amazing. Over the last couple of years, I've used it a lot for being the cameraman stand. So it's got all these replaceable blocks that you can just kind of put everywhere. And so if I'm filming anybody, normally they'll have their stand set up. And so what I can do is take one of these blocks in there, boom, throw it on. This thing is super light to pack. Throw it right up in the tree, and it's perfect for any kind of scenario as far as filming, because you can throw it up. It's real small, real light. So if you are filming your friends a lot and they don't necessarily have stands set up for somebody to film, this would be an awesome investment for you. It has been for me, just to be able to take it and throw it up wherever I'm at. So with that being said, I want to go through how exactly I would set up a stand and a setup for filming. So we have a little bit of a hypothetical situation here. We're not in the woods, we're in Dad's backyard. So I kind of come out here and just picked a tree. So what I'm kind of putting into practice here is that our main, where we're going to shoot deer, is right out here on the edge of his yard. So these deer are going to be coming down the edge, and we're going to ambush them right here. So to start off, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my sticks on the left-hand side of where the hunter stand's going to be. So I would be, if we're going to shoot our deer right here, I'm going to put my sticks right on this side of the tree. And so what that's going to allow me to do is kind of staircase around this tree. Now this will all vary depending on how big your tree is. Obviously this tree right here that I'm on is not very big, so it's not a very big wraparound. But I'm going to put my sticks right here so I can climb up my sticks and step right over into my hunter stand. So this is going to be my hunter stand, facing just about directly towards where we're going to try to shoot. And so that gives them just a perfect eye view of where they're watching. You don't want them to be uncomfortable, so you want them to be able to hunt just like normal. And a lot of your friends or buddies or whoever you're filming is probably already set up their stand this way, to where they're looking right at where they're going to shoot, and or it's a little off to their left if they're right-handed. That's kind of what I normally do. So sticks, wrap around to stand, and then after we come off of the hunter stand, what we're going to want to do, and what I've found is super helpful or easy and much better than trying to get off of the sticks, but to just wrap around. So we'll go hunter stand and then step right into our camera stand. The way that does is it kind of, like I said, gives you a wrap around to where you can just kind of step up into your stand. And another side note, something that is real helpful, which this is kind of more if you're like on private land and you already have this stuff set up. A lot of the times with your hunter, they're going to have their bow rope, and so that's going to be normally like right off here. But for me, what I've seen, that if I'm hanging a cameraman stand, I'm also going to hang one off of the cameraman stand, a bow rope, and able to, or so I can pull up all my gear and stuff. But it helps out if my stand is not right over the top of their stand or right over on the next of the sticks. So then we got bags getting tangled up. I'm trying to pull my camera up and catching it on the sticks and all that kind of stuff. So it makes it easy if you're over here off to the side, to where you can just have your own bowstring and pull it up, and you're not interfering with anything they've got going on. So hunter stand, cameraman stand. As far as height, I have had stands that were super high, way above the hunter, and even with the hunter. But what I've found is that if you really put your feet about where their shoulders are while they're sitting. That kind of is a good range, because you don't want to be too high, because if you're too high, then you can't talk. You can't communicate with what's going on. But if you're right beside them, oftentimes you're in the way of each other's shot. So you'll get in a bind and a deer comes out and you're trying to film and they're trying to shoot, and y'all are in the way because you're too close. So you definitely want to be elevated up a little bit off of their right shoulder to kind of help out with y'all still being able to talk, but not in each other's way. So with that being said, I'm gonna hop up here real quick and show you where I would put the camera arm and all that kind of stuff. All right, so now we're up in the tree. First thing that I'm gonna do, now this all kind of depends too on what you have as far as your filming setup and what you're doing and how many cameras and all that. But I actually look back to when I got to go to Wyoming a couple years ago. The first year that I went to Wyoming, I was like, man, I'm gonna have this awesome production. I'm gonna have all this equipment in the tree and make everything great, which was a great idea and real, you know, way to go me. I was excited, but I ended up carrying like 2 full camera arms and 2 big DSLR cameras, a giant backpack. My backpack was ripping half the time because I had so much equipment. So I found that having a small camera, now I like something a little bit more than a GoPro just for me to have on my hunter, because I do want that to be good footage, but I'm not trying to have 2 ginormous cameras. I'm gonna have my small, like a mirrorless or DSLR camera for on the hunter, and then my whatever the main camera that I am using to film the hunt. So with that being said, one thing that I found super easy than trying to carry 2 camera arms is this right here. Good grief, these mosquitoes are terrible. This is just a Realtree easy hanger. Okay, they make these, it comes with like a little phone holder, and what I did was went on Amazon and bought this little bitty adjustable head. I mean, this isn't nothing crazy, but take the phone holder off, put the adjustable head on there. This is perfect for your small camera that's gonna stay on your hunter. I have used this and I put pretty significantly big size cameras on it, and it does fine because you're not really moving it or anything. You're setting it and boom, it's there. So where would I put this? It is very important to have the real footage of the shot and all that. It's one thing that I've always wanted to have. You can reenact it, and if you have to, that works too, but I really like to have the real footage of them shooting, because that first initial reaction and being able to have the angle of them drawing and the deer out there is really important to me. So where I'm gonna put this is actually about really a little above my knees, right over their shoulder. Okay, so now obviously this is a screw-in hanger, so if you have rules and regulations about not, you know, screwing anything into the tree, you may have to reevaluate and figure out a better option. But I would take this, and about right here, I'm going to screw this into the tree. All right, so every situation is different. But if this is where we were, where I'm probably going, it's just like this. So I'm just gonna hang it right off the side and point it right at them, and that's gonna stay locked there the whole time. So I'm gonna put that camera there and keep it on. Now, one thing you do want to communicate with whoever is you're filming, are they gonna stand up? Are they gonna sit down? Because you get all set up and everything looks nice, they're sitting down, you got their head nice and focused, here comes the deer, and the first thing they do is stand up. That whole shot is now negated because they stood up. Now there's no frame. So definitely one thing you want to communicate with them. Are you going to stand up? Are you going to sit? Now obviously things go wrong and things happen and they don't stand because the deer's looking at it, whatever. But in a perfect world, are you going to sit? Are you going to stand? Frame your shot up that way. So that's my first thing that I'm doing, is getting that angle set up so I can have it on them all the time. Side note, as far as when you're filming, one thing, I don't know that this is everybody's opinion, but it is mine. I normally stand just about the whole hunt. If I'm filming, I'm standing, because the last thing I want to do is get caught by a deer not standing, not ready to go. One thing that I've kind of always wanted, like I said, not necessarily that this is a necessity, but I want to be able to spot the deer first. I want to be able to be locked in, paying attention to where if a deer is going to come out, I'm going to see it first. That way I can be ready to go, get on that deer, get your audio clip of here he comes, there he is, whatever that may be. You want to be on your toes when you're filming. The last thing you want to be doing while you're filming is sitting over here like this. And then next thing you know, here's a deer right here, right here. And now you're in a bind and you can't film because you weren't ready, you weren't paying attention. So me, I'm always gonna be standing, which means I'm going to hang my camera arm to where it would fit me to where I was standing. So I'm gonna end up putting this camera arm about a little lower than chest high, just right in the middle of my stand. Like I said, I'm not going to be sitting down, so there's no worry that this is in the way. So I'm gonna put it about right here. Let's see if we can get this done. One of the biggest and most important things that you do not want to overlook is leveling your base. And the reason being is that you may get up here and have everything set, and you may look through your camera, through the viewfinder or whatever it is, at where you're planning on shooting, and it may be level. But if you go to swing out and move around, as you do that, if your base isn't level, your shot is going to be totally crisscross and cockeyed and all that stuff. So you're going to want to make sure that you level your base. That is one of the most important things, because like we said a while ago, nothing happens as planned. So you want to be able, if the deer comes by and gets past you, you want to be able to turn around and still be level and not worried about it. So level your base. And then I'm going to put my camera on, obviously I don't have a head on this, but on my head right here. And my main focus from this camera all the time is going to be B-roll and the deer. All right, so last thing, if you do have a GoPro and you have this camera on your hunter, your main camera that you're filming your deer with, if you also have a GoPro and want to use a GoPro, a lot of the times what I'll try to do with that third camera is actually get yourself in that shot. Because what that does is there's also a lot of interaction between you and your hunter that goes on that doesn't often get seen, whether it's trying to make sure you both have the shot, you can both see the deer or whatever that may be, and it adds a really nice kind of some suspense to that shot if you do have that extra angle. So the way I would normally do that is just to put this, if there's another tree or something, some way that you can get y'all as a whole in the shot. And if not, worst case scenario, you can just put it, like clip it onto somewhere and just get a wide of the whole thing going down. So hopefully this helps you out when you're getting ready to hang your stands this year and try to film your hunts. I appreciate all you guys commenting and liking the videos so far. We're going to try to bring you some more content about filming your hunts and learning how. So if you have any questions or any things I didn't cover or something else you would like to see in another video, let me know in the comments, and we'll try to get to it. So hope y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all next time.